I'm not ready to wait 100 or 200 years for things to change.
Throughout history, women have fought tirelessly for their rights and equality, facing obstacles, breaking barriers, and changing the course of history.
There never will be complete equality until women themselves help to make laws and elect lawmakers.
We are the free and unconquerable people of the United States of America.
As we celebrate Women's History Month, WomeNomic wants to recognize the legacy of women in politics, highlighting remarkable women who have carved their paths in the political arena.
In my lifetime, I expect to see 3, 4, perhaps even more women on the High Court bench, women not shaped from the same mold, but of different complexions.
Be focused, be determined, be hopeful, be empowered.
Let's take a look at some of the innovative women who have ignited the nation with their passion for change and empowering spirit. Margaret Chase Smith, a woman of integrity and courage, was the first to speak out against McCarthyism and tirelessly advocated for the Equal Rights Amendment, setting a precedent for women in governance.
It is high time that we stopped thinking politically as Republicans and Democrats about elections and started thinking patriotically as Americans about national security based on individual freedom.
Shirley Chisholm, a pioneer and the first African-American woman in Congress, used her platform to advocate for women's rights and social justice, inspiring countless women to pursue leadership roles in politics and beyond.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't have a woman president for the next 20 to 25 years, particularly if the women continue to move in the direction in which they're moving now in this country by constantly fighting for recognition on the basis of their talents and their abilities, and not on the basis of their sex. And they're making the gentlemen in this country begin to realize that ultimately all discrimination, whether it's anti-woman or anti-black, all discrimination is anti-human.
We are a people in a quandary about the present. We are a people in search of our future. We are a people in search of a national community.
Barbara Jordan, known for her eloquence and formidable advocacy, shattered racial and gender barriers. As the first Southern African American woman elected to the House of Representatives, Jordan championed civil and women's rights, embodying the spirit of American democracy. Kay Bailey Hutchinson, a leader who fought for women's rights, including equal pay and healthcare access, demonstrated the significant impact women can make when they are part of the decision-making process.
When I first started in politics, I had to prove that I could do the job, prove that I was tough and strong, and you're tested. I think that each time women do well in a higher office, then people aren't worried anymore. And I think we have made good progress in that regard.
You can't make the Senate or the Congress work in the final analysis if senators and members of the U.S. House of Representatives aren't prepared to work across the political aisle.
Olympia Snowe, with her moderate views, played a crucial role in supporting reproductive rights and equal pay. Her tenure reminds us that compromise and understanding are essential in advancing the cause of women. Hillary Clinton is a figure synonymous with dedication and resilience. As the former First Lady, Senator, and Secretary of State, Clinton has been a fierce advocate for women's rights globally. Her 1995 speech in Beijing, where she declared women's rights are human rights, remains a pivotal moment in the fight for gender equality.
I believe that now, on the eve of a new millennium, it is time to break the silence. It is time for us to say here in Beijing, and for the world to hear, that it is no longer acceptable to discuss women's rights as separate from human rights.
Senator Susan Collins exemplifies the importance of bipartisanship, advocating for issues like reproductive health and domestic violence prevention, and reminding us that women's rights transcend political lines.
I hope that by highlighting the accomplishments of women throughout our history, we can inspire the girls who are growing up today and tell them that they truly can be whatever they want to be.
So I always say to women, know your power. When you set out on a course, be sure of your purpose.
Nancy Pelosi, the first woman to serve as the Speaker of the House of Representatives, has been instrumental in passing key legislation such as the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act and the Affordable Care Act. Her leadership underscores the importance of women's voices in our highest governmental institutions. Condoleezza Rice, while known for her expertise in foreign policy, has used her voice to support women's rights globally, emphasizing democracy and governance as pathways to equality.
This is the best time to be a woman. I want young women to really understand that and believe it. It's not that there aren't barriers. Of course there are barriers. It's not that it's not hard. Of course it's hard. But it's when you think of what our mothers went through or what our grandmothers went through, or my great friend Sandra Day O'Connor, the first Supreme Court justice who was a woman, who was told, well, maybe you should be a secretary because women really aren't lawyers. Women don't face that now. Reach for it. Find mentors who can help you to navigate. They don't have to look like you. Had I been waiting for a black female Soviet specialist role model mentor, I'd still be waiting. Some people are going to be first, but I really want women to be encouraged about the opportunities that are there, not discouraged about whatever obstacles there may be.
We're guided by principle too, and it's a simple idea, and all of you know it as an old labor idea. We all do better when we work together and invest in our future.
Elizabeth Warren, a passionate senator and former presidential candidate, has been at the forefront of the fight for women's rights, advocating for equal pay and reproductive health care, demonstrating that the fight for equality is ongoing. The journeys of these remarkable women illustrate the indomitable spirit and resilience of those who seek to serve and improve their societies. They have laid down the markers of what can be achieved, inspiring future generations to continue the fight for equality and justice. For Women's History Month, let us honor these trailblazers along with other remarkable women by remembering their contributions and by continuing to advocate for women's rights and representation in all spheres of life.
But while I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
Together, we shape a brighter, more inclusive future. Happy Women's History Month from WomeNomics.